obviously we're supposed to sort of get to know both characters, get to know them well. But at the same time, as much as we would like them, they're also, criminals. So what's
Yep.
the challenge that you and Chidera and perhaps Xavier as well faced in sort of taking, bad guys and making them and helping the audience sort of identify with them and root for them in the circumstances that they find themselves in. Because there are
Yeah.
other bad guys in the film other
Yeah.
than Stone and Reach and their crew.
That's interesting. Is the term bad guy
Hmm.
is a very bad guy, good guy. It's a very
Hmm.
interesting take. And I don't know if I really went into the project trying to make the audience feel specifically like these were the bad guys or good guys. I think we live in a world that's a little bit more complicated than that. And I think that the thing that I was just trying to I guess infuse is a question, and that
Hmm.
is, do you support what they're doing or not? And I think that that's the only question, that I think that I was interested in, and not painting them as a good and bad, because I mean they do things that are not good, and then
Hmm.
they have good motives in one sense, and then in another sense they don't. And so for me, the idea was, what does it look like when greed is attached, to the soul, to the mind, to the spirit, and what does that look like? And to me, that just looks like something that's like an invisible thing that kind of takes place and happens without you really recognizing it and realizing it, and you create really great excuses as to why you're doing it, and to what that looks like and why you should do something. And there's obviously the past of them not having enough because of them being foster kids, and and it's just a lot of different elements that I think I wanted to explore, and didn't necessarily want to paint them as good or bad. And
Hmm.
I think that's actually ultimately up for the audience to decide. And I think that the more, yeah, like I said, I think the thing that I was more interested in was what greed looks like, and what it drives an individual or individuals to do, and how greed is it's kind of permeated all throughout different sects and different places. There isn't one size fits all. There's the police force and the governmental force, right? And we can kind of see elements of greed kind of infused in sort of that storyline. You can see it with the main brothers. You can see it kind of all over the place if you're paying attention. So
Hmm.
I think that was something I was really excited about exploring, is this spirit of greed and what that looks like, across the film, and then yeah, letting the audience decide who they think is good or bad, and who's doing the right thing for what reason and for what cause.